Let's get deep, going deep, Chad and JT.
What's up, Stokers? This is Chad coming in with the Going Deep and Chad JT podcast. I got my compadre JT just chugged, is that coffee or tea?
Iced coffee.
Oh, dog.
Because of the early hour, I had to get something more potent.
Yeah. So what time did you get up?
9:30.
Yeah, we're recording super early, 10 a.m. This is Tuesday.
What up, Stokers?
Yeah, usually we record at 2, so we can have like an hour to like get ready. But the powers that be said, no, you're getting up early. So
My dad.
your dad. So that's what's up. So you're going to where are you going?
I'm going to Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
That's tight.
Yeah, for a wedding. I'm pumped.
For a wedding?
Yeah, like our closest family friends are getting married.
Oh, that's sweet. So what are you
Yeah.
doing up until the wedding?
Yeah, that's good question. I think we're gonna do some hiking, go to the river, spend time as a unit.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be my dad, his girlfriend, my mom, her boyfriend, Greg and Kent, great. My brother and his girlfriend, great. And then my girlfriend and I.
Oh, Blair's going?
Yeah, Blair's coming.
Nice.
And my dad was like, "Do I need to have boxing gloves for you and Blair when you guys get here?" I'm gonna tell her you guys fight. I'm gonna ask her why you guys fight so much. And I was like, "Dad, I'm not gonna censor you, but understand that whatever you say to her is coming back on me."
Yeah.
Then he laughed.
I'm glad your dad is bringing light to it.
Oh, dude, he has a good time with everything. He loves chaos. Yeah, and then our family friends who are getting married. It's my friend Ian, who's always was like kind of like my de facto big brother.
Mm-hmm.
He used to torture me.
How so?
They had a huge dog cage attached to their house. Like it was big. It was like 20 by 10.
Mm-hmm.
They put my brother and I in there as prisoners.
A dog cage?
Yeah, so we had to sit in the dog. It was like we were in prison, and we sat in the dog cage all day, and I just stare out and
All
think
day?
about stuff. I forget how. Probably like 8 hours. But they'll always say, Ian will always say, he's like, "Dude, I didn't even have to bully you. You just bullied yourself."
Mm-hmm.
Like one time they're gonna give us swirlies. I just stuck my head in the toilet before they even could, just to get them to cheer.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So I would do things for their like affection. So
Yeah. I was that way with my brothers. Like my brother would come home from college, and I'd be like, "Can you beat me up?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, sure." And he'd like throw me in the pool, and I'd be like, "That was awesome. That was fucking awesome." I loved getting my ass kicked.
I thought you were gonna say, like, "Can you clock me in the face?" He's like,
Yes. 6-year-old. He's like, "Oh, I'm sure." And my mom's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "He told me to punch him in the face." And I'm like bleeding from it. I'm like, "That was
Yeah.
awesome."
He's like, "Toof, toof, toof, toof."
I don't know. I always had a knack for getting my ass beat when I was young.
Dude, there's some guys who are really good at getting their ass beat.
Yeah.
Greg, we used to call him Unbreakable in junior high. It ended up being bad for him
Yeah.
because once he earned the moniker of Unbreakable, people kept trying to test it.
Yeah.
Like they were like, "Oh, dude, are you really unbreakable?" And they'd like throw Greg into a fire hydrant. He's like, "Please stop calling me Unbreakable." He's like, "It's not helping my day to day. I thought it'd be cool. It sucks."
They snap his leg.
Yeah.
Ow, dude.
"I thought you were unbreakable. You said you were unbreakable." He's like, "I never even said that. Other people said that about me."
Yeah. Oh, dude.
What are you getting up to this week?
What am I getting up to? I'm going to New York this weekend to visit my brothers. Cause they're both turning big numbers.
Whoa.
4-0 and 3-0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're gonna go shooting Saturday morning, and then we're gonna do squats. That's the basic Kroger family birthday celebration.
It's a fucking hell of a day.
Yeah,
You're gonna feel good.
I'm gonna feel good.
Yeah.
Guns and squats. I mean, what better way to raise your T levels?
Guns and squats.
And then probably play with my niece and nephew. And my brother lives in Westchester. He's a suburban guy now. My other brother lives in New Orleans. So we're both, the New Orleans brother and me, we're both going to New York to celebrate. Right. So yeah, my older brother, he's a suburban guy now. No more city. So I don't even know if we'll go into Manhattan, but
right,
because it's like Friday to Sunday.
Oh, it's gonna
fly
be
on
quick
Friday.
hitter.
Yeah. So we'll see about that. And then this week, I might surf and motivate.
Nice.
That's what's on tap. And I'm always trying to come up with new ways to motivate. So stokers, if you have ideas or if you're looking for ways that you want to get motivated, hit me up. Let me know.
It's a lot of motivating.
It's a lot motivating. Yeah. It's funny when people are like, this is not motivating me. I'm like, all right, well, every day's not a winner, okay?
Right.
I'm putting myself out there.
Thanks for being a dick, pal.
Yeah, why don't you motivate me, dickwad?
Yeah. It'd be funny if like Tony Robbins walked down to the crowd one day and just looked at someone. He's like, can you help me? The guy's like, yeah, but I shelled out like 10 grand to come here. And he's like, I know, and I feel bad about it, but I'd love a boost.
Yeah. Dude, have you been watching his like stories on Instagram?
No.
He'll post photos of his like events, and they're like full arenas.
Oh yeah.
And it's like huge, and it's just like him just dancing and stuff on
Fucking got a
stage.
super soaker out
You can
there.
barely. It's like from the back of the audience, you can barely see him. He's just like this little speck, just like waving his arms. Yeah.
Hard to imagine Tony Robbins as a speck.
I know. That's how big the audiences are.
Guy's a freaking giant.
Yeah. I like the little move he does before he goes out on stage. He does like a whip with his hand, then he does like a spin.
Oh yeah.
He knows that?
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that spin from a guy of his like masculinity and
Yeah.
size. I like that he's divorced. I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall for his first marriage.
I heard a story. I heard a story at like one of his events. He's like super vulnerable. He's like, yeah, before I met my new wife, I was kind of a dog. I can't do his voice. I was kind of a dog.
Yeah, I was a dog.
I was a dog. I was pretty much at like 10 chicks at one time on my like
motivating them?
motivating them with
getting them to emotionally understand their lives?
Yeah, with his cock.
Oh, nice.
Apparently he was like he said he was like messaging like 10 girls. He was like trying to manage like 10 relationships at once.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So like he's like, and it all came to a head. He's like, yeah, I went to Fiji to meet this one, then like to Australia to meet this other, but then like somehow they both came to Fiji at the same time, and I was like, oh, this is all crashing around me. And then he met his current wife, who was like working at one of the resorts in like his resort in Fiji or something, and they really just hit it off, and sparks flew. He raised her state, and she made a vision board with his face on it, and he saw it, and he's like, let's bone. And then that's that.
Nice.
That's how it goes down with Tony.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So that's just what I hear.
Does he have vision boards?
I'm guessing.
I wonder, like, for Tony, do you think he has to be able to get his, like, for him to be with someone, do you think he has to be able to get them jacked up?
What do you mean?
Like, if Tony had a wife who he'd be like, honey, can we talk about, like, your, like, biggest fears regarding your dad? And she'd be like, no, we can't talk about it. He'd be like, well, it's kind of what I do, honey. I kind of get people to talk about these things so I can get them jacked or, like, elevate their state. And she's like, yeah, got it. Not into it. And Tony's like, can we talk about why you're not letting me get you jacked? And then she's like, honey, good morning.
Hey, are we going to eat breakfast?
Before we eat breakfast, we need to feed your soul.
With toast?
No.
How?
With hard truths about misconceptions you've been perpetuating in your head.
Misconceptions? Well, I was really hoping to just eat some eggs.
You guys hear this? How often are we going to look for pedestrian food to give us the answers we need for what's really bothering us?
What's going on? Who are you talking to?
The other people in the auditorium.
I don't see no. This is our house.
This is classic deflection. Did your
Yeah. Is this about last night? Is this because of like what happened last night? I don't want to talk about my dad every time we eat.
That's interesting. Is that interesting?
Who are you talking to?
My audience.
There's no one here. We're in the kitchen.
Oh, man.
Can you ever just take a break? I saw you do the spin move before you came in here. Like, you don't need to get into that state.
I'll take a break. I'm just going to head outside real quick into our 2x2 ice cold bath while I got 30 seconds of free time. And then when I come back in, I'll be running in place and I'll be ready to eat right after that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you have your assistants do like research on me before this morning? Like,
I did have them do research. They did tell me to do that, but I wanted to. So it's not all, they don't deserve all the credit.
but you do that every morning. We've covered the same stuff.
Well, the facts haven't changed.
But
You need to talk about everything that's happened to you every morning.
I know, it's just like you try to get me to roar like a lion every morning, and I'm like, yeah, stop.
Dude, did you see this article about these models who fought to the death?
Yeah, I did.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's such a movie.
It's like, I'm just bummed that neither of them is going to be able to model anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, rivalry's taken that far, I would say just keep it on the runway, fellas.
Yeah, they showed up like with like weapons and bros when they were ready to fight.
Yeah.
Like they were, I think.
Oh, they had like a showdown?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like the guy just came up to him and stabbed him.
That might have been how the fight happened, but they both showed up ready for something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they it had been brewing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had been talking shit to each other for a while on social media. The guy who killed the other guy said that he claimed that he also slept with his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like it was like as deep as like a hatred could. It was like as deep as a clash could go.
Yeah.
Like they had really been like just being super gnarly with each other.
Damn. So it was like they were beefing for a while, and then
Because the guy who stabbed him was jealous. The other guy was like a more successful model.
He's more famous.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little backstory, Stoker. So they're both like similar looking models, and then the less successful one stabbed this dude in the heart.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, it's funny too. Like, so the guy was like, the less successful guy killed the copycat killed the more famous one, and this is so funny. This is what the prosecution said. The killer plainly had an obsession with Harry Uzuka. That's the other model. He even suggested to one witness that they were on a similar level in the modeling world, and that was not true. I love getting that burn in there.
Yeah.
As if that's like hyper relevant to the
He's
case.
just like, you pieces of shit.
He's like, you motherfuckers. I'm like, this is what pushed him to do that, was these slights. Yeah. He I just get extra disappointed when hot people are immoral, when hot people make mistakes.
Yeah.
I look to hot people to be my moral compass.
Yeah.
You know? And so when they fuck up, I'm like, damn it, dude. You let us down.
Yeah, it's like this guy's really betraying, it's like he has these hot looks and he could still model, but he just threw that all away.
And he could use his hot looks for good.
Yeah. But instead he let, jealousy get the better of him.
Yeah.
What happened to old-fashioned walk-offs?
That I would have done something like that.
You would have been like, "Hey, you're more successful than me, but I could dominate the runway way better than you."
Yeah, it could be like, oh, you're commercially more successful, but it really comes down to the throwdown
Yeah.
of who can walk better.
Yeah.
I'm better than you. But I think in his own head, he built it up to like a Wild West kind of thing where he's like, oh, we're both like these iconic figures and only one of us can still, this playground ain't big enough for the both of us kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Which is a little immature. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, you can't. Do you really think like killing this guy is going to give you all of his gigs?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's got what he wanted. Maybe he just wanted fame and now he has it, you know?
Yeah, but I guess now he has it, and he's like, this is not that cool because now I'm going to jail.
I'm in jail.
But, dude, I mean, I'm confused as to why the other guy would agree to a brawl with him because, like, you're messing with the very thing that's making you money, you know?
That's true too. If you fight and you lose, but I think you know, I think models, they exist as like pinnacles of beauty, and in some ways like what it is to be cool, and maybe that fills them up with like bravado, and they're like, oh, so I gotta fight, I gotta protect my rep. You know what I mean?
I wonder if his agents were like, hey, don't do this because, like, if your face gets fucked up, you can't make money.
Yeah,
I don't know. Interesting case.
it's very interesting.
Make for a good movie. I bet the guy was like, all right, let's brawl, and the guy just brought a knife. He's like, actually, I'm gonna stab you in the heart.
Yeah, let's
He
fight.
stabbed him in the heart.
Yeah, you gotta agree to what the weapons are before the fight.
Yeah.
Like it's my movie quote of the week, but in Gangs in New York, when they're settling what the weapons are going to be for the final melee, Bill the Butcher's like clubs, knives, pickaxes, guns, and then Leo DiCaprio's character goes, no guns, and Bill the Butcher goes, good boy, and I was like, nice, dude, very honorable.
Yeah.
Discussing what weapons are allowed.
Good boy.
Yeah.
I heard when they were filming that, like before he would talk to Daniel Day-Lewis, and they'd be like discussing it, and then like once they started filming, Daniel Day-Lewis got into character, and he's like, "Hey, Daniel." Daniel's like, and he's like, "Oh, sorry." And he goes, I would be so like, "All right, you fucking douche."
I was about to say, it's like, you're like, oh, dude, on one hand, you're like a very good actor.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, you're like 45 and you can't snap out of make-believe. Like, you're not talented enough or experienced enough to be able to, like, compartmentalize when you're acting and not acting.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if on set people are like, I wonder if people who worked with him, they'd be like, yeah, Daniel, he's awesome, you know? And he's like, my name is Abe Lincoln. They're like, all right, yeah, well, all right, cool, dude.
yeah, he's got to be exhausting to work with.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard he stopped acting for a couple years, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
I love when you, like, love something so much that you can't do it anymore because it pains you. And then he instead learned how to cobble shoes.
Yeah.
And he gave the shoe cobbler acting classes in exchange. Did
Oh,
we talk
really?
about this on here before?
No.
Yeah. So he was like, you teach me how to make shoes, and I'll teach you how to act. And I heard the guy's a traveling theater actor in Italy now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he really good?
I don't know, but that was like the end of it. But apparently he's good enough to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've come to cobble shoes.
I learned how to cobble shoes for 4 years. You're like, if you weren't so smart, you'd just be an idiot.
They're like, what?
Yeah, why would you? You were in like Martin Scorsese movies. Stick to that. Dude, did you see this article about how Jakarta is sinking?
Yeah, it's the next Atlantis.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think, don't fight it, guys. Let's, I think we're making the transition to mer people. I'm all for it. You know, Atlantis is coming. So we'll develop gills or some shit.
Like, they could even be like bionic ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do you think evolution will take care of it pretty quickly?
Maybe Elon Musk will like tweet about it and then not do anything.
I know, that's starting to be his rep.
Yeah.
He's just on blow, huh?
Dude, probably.
Elon's just like, they're like, we need an idea for today. He's like, leave my office. I need to do some hard thinking. And he comes out, he's like, we're going to Mars. Everyone's like, yeah! And he's like, but first we're hitting the club.
New tweet. We're not gonna eat food by 2030. We're gonna be self-sustainable.
Because he hasn't eaten in 3 days. Everyone's like, all right, yeah. He's like, we'll make it happen. Now get in the back of my Tescalade. Yeah, it's a bummer about Jakarta. I love Indonesia.
What's your take on it?
I'm reading about it now, and it sounds like humans are doing a lot of stuff that's accelerating the rate at which it's sinking.
Yeah.
Like excessive extraction of groundwater for use as drinking water. And the air, so they take all that from underneath it and it decreases the volume, and then the city just sinks into the empty space. They're still selling apartments in there. I don't know. I hope you're right. I hope that they can just figure out a way to make it better, but I think we got to be aware, so I'm glad I know about it.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, but I'm glad I know that it's going on, because I don't want to just like one day be like, where's Jakarta? And everyone's like, it's gone. It's been gone for a while. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. I was going to go there for my birthday.
Yeah, I was going to party there.
Like, well, do you scuba?
Dude, what'd you think about Bird scooters?
Yeah.
And Lime scooters. Respect Lime. Are being vandalized. There's like a real war brewing between the scooter heads and the anti-scoots.
This has been going on for centuries. This is what comes with being a scooter guy. People are gonna hate. Dude, I remember I rollerbladed for like a year, and I would hit the skate park in my fucking blades, and skaters would come up to me all the time. They'd be like, "Don't fucking drop in on my ramp, dude. You're a rollerblader.
Yeah.
Know your fucking place."
So territorial.
Yeah.
I've never been into this like paintballing. You go paintballing, guys are like, hey, put your barrel plug in, noob. Hey, did you check your FPS?
Yeah.
All right, if you're going to be an idiot, don't play. You're like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But don't start acting like you're fucking King Tut, because, you know, you've been here 10 times.
Put your barrel plugging on my course.
Hey,
The game is over. Put your face mask on. Put it on.
yeah, it's...
You're out. You're out. I shot you. You're out.
And then the guy gets home, and he still talks like that. He's like, Billy, how's school?
Put that friggin' barrel plug in.
Hey, barrel plug your science book. Yeah.
But dude, there's a Instagram bird graveyard. Have you seen it?
I hate it. They lit one on fire.
Yeah. What the fuck? The thing that pisses me off the most is the pollution they're causing. They're throwing them in the ocean.
I agree.
It's like, have you even ridden the scooter? Do you know how fun it is? What the fuck are you doing?
And I've made this point before. Look, to defeat a villain, you can't become a villain.
Yeah.
Like, it's never okay to just, like, throw a scooter in the ocean.
Yeah, like, haven't you watched, like, the Batman movies? Like, the Joker, Bane, they all met their demise by trying to go the destruction route.
I hope Bird just makes
Yeah.
fireproof birds.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big fight. Like, the existence of birds they're in an existential fight for their life right now.
Yeah.
Like, it could turn out that birds aren't allowed in California, and then after that, maybe other states.
Dude,
It might just be a fad.
I don't know what I'd do.
I don't want it to be a fad. I don't want bird scooters to be pogs. I want
Yeah.
them to be here to stay.
Yeah.
We'll come up with ways to regulate it. Just trust that the system can figure things out on the fly. It doesn't have to be perfect right away.
It's an alternative green mode of transpo. When I ride a bird, like, usually I'll be like in my car and I'll be like isolated in my own world listening to like podcasts or music or something. But when I'm on a bird, I'm like in the city, you know? I'm like amongst the world. I'm like,
You belong
this
to
is,
the city.
this is what it's like to like be in the world, not isolated in my fucking metal box like Patrick Swayze was talking about, you know? I want to be in the world, and that's what Bird does for me.
Dude, I picture your hair just flowing. You got sunglasses on.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Dude, yeah. You too, man.
Come on.
If your hair doesn't flow as much, but
At all. All right, should we get into it?
yeah.
Chad, who is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with bureaucrats. So I was watching James Bond the other day, and there's the new one of his bosses says something to him, and he goes, "Bureaucrat. He's a bureaucrat." I didn't know what that was. I learned it's like the DMV. And so my beef, yeah, fuck the DMV. So I'm just sick of, people trying to like make me get IDs and licenses and just like, identify myself and like pass tests so I can drive, It's just like, just let me be me. Let James be James, stop getting in the way of his mish. Yeah, maybe I should have done a little more research on bureaucrats, but that's my beef.
I love it.
Just want to be raw and live free. So, yeah. I don't know if my beef is with bureaucrats per se or... So, that's my beef. What's your beef?
Dude, my beef was a beef I witnessed, but that was it was taken care of in the moment. It was pretty awesome. So our buddy Andrew K, we went out together in Huntington Beach to a club called The Bungalow, and we were in there just like ripping shots and dancing it up and like feeling that weird anxious buzz when you're in a crowded place with lots of hot people and you just don't know what to do, but you got to do something. So we spent a couple hours there just grooving, and he met a pretty girl, and like a group of 7 of us were leaving, and we were down by where the cabs come to pick you up afterwards, and then this dude walked up smoking a cig, and you could tell he kind of had bad vibes all over him. And he was like, he heard us talking about food. He's like, yo, if you guys want to get food, you got to go to this one like taco stand like 35 minutes south of here. And we were all like, okay. And right away I could feel his energy was like aggressive, and I was like, what the fuck's gonna happen here? I kind of got like hairs up on my back, and I was like, oh no. And then Andrew K was just like, oh yeah, cool, man, yeah, we maybe we'll check that place out, and like sounded genuine. And the guy was like, I don't know about maybe, dude. Like took whatever Andrew said in like the worst possible way.
Yeah.
And then Andrew was like, yeah, you're right, dude, I should, yeah, I will actually go there. And then the guy was like, okay, ha 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 ha, and kind of laughed, which seemed like maybe he just didn't know what to say. And then the guy who was like being aggressive with us had 2 buddies who looked like they were capable of being even more aggressive. And so Andrew's friend, this guy who I met for the first time that night, I forget his name, peeled off, went over to those 2 guys and was like, hey, what's up, dudes? And then he was like, you guys want a cigarette? And they were like, yeah, I'll take one. And they each took one. And then I looked back at Andrew, and he was just talking to the guy about his life, and the guy was like, yeah, so I'm like from like 10 minutes, and he had chilled down considerably. And I was like, and then I realized, I was like, whoa, Andrew and his boy just diffused this potential negative situation by just being super peaceful, not showing any signs of aggression, just basically bouncing the ball back to the other guy. Like these guys, like the aggressive guy was like ripping forehands of negativity, and Andrew just kept parrying them back over the net. And then finally the guy got tired and was like, all right, I guess we'll just rally. And I was like, nice, dude, that is well handled. Because I was like ready to say something like, which would have been the wrong route, but I was going to be like, dude, why are you being negative to us? Like, we're just hanging out. We're just waiting for our Uber. Like, you don't have to come at us and be all aggressive with your energy. That would have been the worst thing to say. The guy would have been like, what, bitch? I'm not being aggressive. And I'd be like, admit you're being aggressive. And he'd be like, no, I'm not going to. And I'm like, then fuck you. You're an asshole. Or something stupid like that. That would have just made the whole situation incredibly awkward, especially if there's a chick there. You know what I mean? She doesn't want to be part of, like, awful situation. She's nice. Yeah. And then so I was just like, super impressed by Andrew and his buddies like beef synthesizing. And I went up to Andrew afterwards and I was like, dude, fire way to like calm down this guy. And I was like, and I told his buddy, I was like, great way to like make sure his friends are like enough on our side that they don't like encourage or condone anything negative that the other dude might have done. It's like really smart, like human engineering or whatever, or social engineering. And I was just like, yeah, credit to you guys. That was good beef work. So that's my beef of the week.
Beef synthesizing.
Yeah, because they neutralized the beef before it beefed.
Yeah, when someone comes at you, you gotta just act like it's not even phasing you.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, dude, hell yeah. That's like the most SoCal way to start a fight. Be like, you better check out this fucking taco stand, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I will.
All right, dude. Who is your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is Jessica Simpson. I watched her reality show Newlyweds, And that's when I really sort of started to see what love was between her and Nick Lachey. Although didn't last, seeing their relation was like, I was like, whoa, this is like a real relation with a super hot chick, you know?
Yeah.
It's not all like, I think it's sort of like humanized hot chicks for me. It's where it's like, they're not just like these like, you know, big goddess like creatures. They're human beings.
Yeah.
And that's how you got to behave
I love that.
if you're Nick Lachey.
Dude, Nick I watched the follow-up show that he did after they divorced, and he got his own reality show about like his next album.
Yeah.
And he wasn't sure what to call the album, but one of the names was What's Left of Me. And he was talking to like a big team of like marketing people, and he was like, I don't know if I want to call it What's Left of Me. And they were like, why, Nick? And he's like, because then what if some music critic writes, what's left of Nick? Not much. And they were like, yeah, Nick, we don't think you should operate from such a negative perspective. And I was like, yeah, it's true. I was like, Nick really let us in right there, and he's hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah. He loved her.
Yeah.
He loved her.
I think that's a fair argument. What's left of Nick? Not much.
Yeah.
Did he stick with the name?
I think he did call it that. Yeah.
And did critics say, yeah?
Yeah. I think they did.
He's like, fuck you.
He calls the marketing people. He's like, I told you they would do this.
Yeah.
If we just would have called the album Blue Velvet, we'd be fine right now.
Yeah. Just act like nothing happened.
What can they say about Blue Velvet? Shit. They can't say anything about it.
Blue Velvet? Not much.
Non-starter. Yeah. All right. My babe of the week is Bantam Bagels from Starbucks.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, have you guys had these? They're like balls that are filled with cream cheese, and they heat them up. So it's just a bagel, but like in a basketball form. They're sexy. They look good. They're like little perfect circles. You say you can't make a perfect circle, but they're as close to perfect as you can get.
Super sexy.
And they're super tasty, and they make them quick. And I just think I really like eating you. So thank you, Bantam Bagels.
You do eat sort of like very aggressively.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sort of like the way you
Drink fluids.
drink fluids. I've just always noticed, especially when you're like hungry and you want to wolf something down, your hands are like shaking. You're just like, oh, I'm just like, JT, breathe,
Relax.
breathe.
Yeah, I don't know why I have so much adrenaline.
Like I need this huevos rancheros in my fucking belly.
Yeah, I shake.
You do shake.
Yeah, I had a meal yesterday. I went to a Brazilian steakhouse, but I basically just carbo loaded.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a huge line because it's like a small little vendor, and the line gets like an hour long. And people were staring at my plate.
Really?
Yeah, I love that. When people are like, whoa, like when you walk by.
Oh, because they were
Yeah.
impressed by how big the meal was?
Yeah, and like a stranger guy will be like, oh, nice meal. You're like, thanks, bro. Yeah, I stacked it up.
That guy got double? All right.
I need the energy. All right, dude, who is your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is Howard Stern. Howard Stern played our House Party City Council audio since his radio show on his show yesterday, and apparently I haven't listened to the full thing, but apparently he and Robin liked it,
It's crazy.
which is awesome. But I've been a Stern listener since 2009. I love Howard Stern, and the more and more I listen to him, the more I can see his craft and the way he's able to just. First off, he was always unapologetically himself, and he just maintained that throughout his whole career. He was fighting the powers that be, probably the freaking bureaucrats who are just like, don't be yourself, Howard. And he's like, fuck you. This is me. And then that's what brought him the level of success he has. He never conformed. And do you ever watch his movie?
Private Parts?
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, he's battling NBC and then like Don
Pig Vomit.
Hymas and all those people, and he just powered through. And so just major props to him for sticking through and just, deciding, hey, this is my show. This is how I'm going to do it. You guys can you can fire me, you can say what you want, but I will have my audience, and that's what will power me through. And that's what got him through to being one of the richest radio personality ever,
The biggest.
and one of the richest people in entertainment.
He's a monster, dude. He's so funny.
Yeah, he's so funny. And so when you listen to his show, he just like, the way he's like, I don't think many people understand how difficult it is to carry a live radio show for like 4 hours. Just absurd. And he keeps it fun. He keeps it light. His interviews have gotten better and better. He really asks the questions that like people want to know.
He's smart.
Yeah. And he's really aggressive in that way, but also, you know, super likable, I think. And just, yeah, Howard, you're a legend. Thank you for, you know, putting our segment on your show. It was a fire segment. I want to listen to it all still. Hopefully I still can. We'll hit up Gary. Like, Baba Booey, send us the full seg. And he loves animals too, which I think is awesome. He and his wife, they save cats, which is cool, you know. And he's got a babe of a wife, and he still plows her with rubbers, which I still find curious, but you know.
He wears condoms?
He wears condoms, yeah.
Is he a germ guy?
I think he's a germ guy.
Yeah.
But again, he's unapologetically himself.
Love that.
He's very vulnerable on the radio.
I think, dude, he's so good.
Yeah.
And also, it's like, it's just so crazy you played our clip. Like, it almost doesn't even feel real. But I'm deeply honored.
Yeah, who's your legend?
My legend of the week is our boy Dustin.
Oh, I love Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin's the man.
Dustin is the man.
He's so funny. He's like super prolific, and he's just witty. He can hang and just get in there with the banter back and forth. It's always a delight to talk to him. You leave the conversation feeling bouncy. He's got a great energy. Like, he's good with people. And then he's just got like an encyclopedic knowledge of a wide array of subjects. I mean, especially like film and basketball. He knows like everything. And he doesn't just know everything about those things. He's good at them. Like, he's so good at basketball. He's got the best
Playing basketball.
He's got the best jumper I've ever seen.
Oh, sick.
He can just sink it from anywhere, infinite range. I mean, sometimes it gets a little taxing when you play with him because I'm so bad. I kind of just have to let him do whatever he wants. So you're watching him shoot a lot, but it's a privilege to watch him. I mean, he can make it rain. And it's fun to play with him because you're like, man, we got a good chance of winning. Strider calls him the luxury. That's his basketball nickname, the luxury. Because he can make it easy for you guys by just draining some deuces from deep. And yeah, I always have a great time hanging with him. We were together this weekend, and we were driving around, and it was just like just vibing. When you're with someone and you're just on that same wavelength, you're seeing things similarly, but you know, you got your small differences in point of view that add so much flavor to life. And then we were just bouncing back and forth, and I was like, you know what, this guy's a fucking legend. He is a legend.
He makes you feel so good whenever you talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy, he's super charismatic, and he's just like a really solid dude. There's never a time where we're like, oh, Dustin's coming. I'll be like, hell yeah. Like, I can't imagine anyone ever just being like, oh, Dustin's coming? Bummer.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I don't think anyone's ever said that in the history of Earth.
Dude, nice.
Yeah.
My GF loves him.
Yeah.
They vibe so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the best.
And yeah, he's the man. And he's just got a big dick energy. And you know why that is? It's because he has a big dick.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. You know, maybe it just hasn't happened. But I know a girl who slept with him and said he's got a massive hog.
Good for him.
And then I love his girlfriend too. She's super cool.
Yeah, she's cool.
Adriana, what up? You're a legend as well. And you guys are legends together, and stay legendary.
Hell yeah.
All right, dude. Should we get into some questions?
Yeah.
Do you want to do an ad?
Sure. What up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad of the Going Deep with Chad JT podcast. Hey, guys, ladies, what is something that occurs in the bedroom? Yeah, you guessed it, boning. That's what occurs. And you know what you need when you're boning? The right tools. And what kind of tools, you ask? Well, how about lubricant? Because that'll make it go smooth, and that'll make it go nice, and that'll make your boning just a total experience just that much smoother and better and more enjoyable. Why? Because Douglas Lubricant brings us the best in lube. You have all kinds of chemicals that are biodegradable, and safe, and they'll give you a tingling sensation. They'll make it taste good. It's edible. It'll make it feel good. It's like adding a blowtorch to your dong piece, but in a good way, meaning that it's just like warm, not like it's burning your skin. That's what Douglas lubricant does. That's what Douglas lubricant does. So next time you bone well and bone hard with Douglas Lube.
All right, guys. First question. What up, Stokers? Longtime listener of the pod. Stay stoked, bros. Anyways, got myself in a little bit of a pickle here. My mom buys all of my clothes, and I keep telling her I don't want to wear shit from Nordstrom's because I heard they're racist. Do I burn all of these clothes to make a statement, or do like Gandhi and rock a sheet? Thanks, PJ.
Nordstrom's racist?
I'm not totally surprised.
Hmm.
Having worked the stockroom there, and, I don't like to judge a book by its cover. I think people are, crazy unique, and someone can look like a racist and be the farthest thing from it. But the dudes who run Nordstrom's, the Nordstrom family, like Eric von Nordstrom's and like Lindrick von Nordstrom, they look like racists.
Just hearing the word Von.
I think they got Vons in their name.
Yeah.
So
it might as well be Eric Von Racist.
And if it's not really up to me to, I'm not going to call them racist. I don't know them. But if you think they're racist and you believe that strongly, that racism's a bad thing, well then yeah, burn your clothes, dude.
Dude, PJ, yeah, thank you for writing in. And just, dude, upon hearing that right away, I'm just like, this is a man with values and a code.
Dude, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to extinguish that passion.
Yeah.
So light that fire.
Yeah. Make your statement. Be like Gandhi, dude. Be a minimalist. Rock that sheet, dude. Imagine how much respect you're going to get at school. Even if people are like hating, they'll be like, what are you doing, dude? Is that your bed sheet? Look at the jizz stains. And you'd be like, what? Well, at least I'm standing up for something. They'd be like, in the back of their mind, they probably like, flare up. They'd be like, standing up for what? But in the back of their mind, they'd be like, yeah, he's a better man than I am.
Yeah, like even if I disagree, exactly, dude. You're drilling it like 9 times over again with a power kick. It's like even if I don't agree or understand exactly what your point of view is, if you commit to it with integrity, I'm behind you 100. So yeah, dude, burn your clothes, burn them all.
Yeah, and dude, if you're in California too, make sure that's a contained fire because we're having a huge wildfire problem. And just make sure you look up like fire safety. So maybe like make sure it's like bonfire safe, and maybe like have like a little celebration. Like have your boys over and just be like, guys, this is a bonfire against racism.
What's really good? My name is Danny, and I'm a jack dude who loves to lift and bond with my squad. Anyways, I get hard a lot. My dong, I mean. I was grinding with this Betty at my buddy Tanner's house, and I got super hard. Pretty soon it was clear that the grinding turned into an over-the-pants pokey sesh. I thought she'd be stoked to know that I'm virile, but she gave me this not stoked look and ran away. So my question is, when do you reveal that you're hard? Know your audience, know the room,
Yeah, good call.
It's just you just got to have good judgment, dude. Like there's not like a set of circumstances I could describe that would, I think a potential solution isn't to know, it's not to come up with all the situations when you do reveal your hard. It's better to have a list of when don't you reveal your hard.
Good call.
Work for it by just erasing all of those situations from your potential boner reveal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
There's no objective way to say, okay, this is when you let people know I'm hard.
Right.
Read the room.
I mean, if she says, like, the only way I can 100% say with certainty it's time to reveal that is if someone preempts you and asks you.
Yeah.
If she's like, hey, are you hard? You can be like, yeah, I'm hard.
Yeah.
But it's a tough move. I mean, I've told chicks I was hard before, if we had been making out and stuff, and I got good feedback on it.
Oh, so you got a mostly positive response?
Yeah, but I think I was doing it at the right times.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, if she ran away, she probably didn't want to know about your boner.
Yeah. It's tough though when you're grinding. I remember in like middle school, I was freak dancing with a girl, and she was like my main crush, and I got super hard, and it was kind of a poke sesh, and I didn't know what to do because like I didn't want to stop dancing, but like, I was poking her from behind.
You're grinding with her, so I think in that situation, both of you guys enter into a social contract where a boner might happen. You know what I mean? She probably knows that a boner could happen from grinding. So that's not a terrible time to do it. But yeah, make sure that there's grinding and stuff before you get a boner. Don't get a boner just from like talking to somebody.
Yeah, I wouldn't like announce it at the dinner table or something like that.
Exactly. Or at her parents' house or something.
Yeah, maybe there's some like standards like that. Like if you're at the dinner table with family, I'm sure your parents don't want to know that you're hard. A lot of times I'll get hard in the car, and then like I have to get out of the car. I'm like, I have to face these people with a just rock solid dong, and just flip it up in the waistband, dude.
JT, I know you mentioned a solution to getting a thicker mane, and I was wondering if you could shoot me the name of that product. It's called Finasteride. That's the actual name of the medicine, but the company that makes it is Propecia.
How's it working out?
Dude, it's great.
Your hair looks good.
Thank you. It's thick because of it.
It looks thick, yeah.
No side effects. Some people say it makes your wiener feel like a rubber attachment. I think those people were already feeling that way. Hey, Chad and JT, I'll just start from the beginning. Mid-July, I met this babe of a girl at a party at my house, and towards the end of the night, we really hit it off, talking, flirting, but that's all it was. So she went home that night, and I really didn't think anything of it. Anyways, last weekend, she ended up at the same party I was at, and things really heated up there. We ran the beer pong table the whole night, and we were really vibing, and later that night, we ended up hooking up in my friend's basement, and after playing couch quail on the futon, we talked a little more, then her designated driver ended up taking the group home. We talked a little more, and then I sent a snap a couple of days later feeling out where she was at, but after answering one, she hasn't opened up the other snap from like 4 days ago, and I haven't sent one since. I'm interested in this girl, but I don't want to come off too strong or annoying. I can understand if it was a one-night deal. I'm okay with that, but I'm just curious what I should do from here. Should I wait it out or risk it for the biscuit?
So he sent her some snaps. Can I read that again?
He hooked up with this girl, and she hasn't been getting back to him, and he likes her. And they had a really special night together. Dude, that night that you guys had together, it sounds like the peak of romance. Running the beer pong table with a woman you're interested in, and then you guys, that all culminates and you guys, hooking up. That's a very nice night. So before we get too frustrated about the lack of a response, let's just really enjoy the fact that happened, that you got to have a special night like that. A lot of people never have a night like that. So the fact that you got one, you're already way ahead of the 8 ball, my friend.
Dude, you're hitting a nail on the head there. Be appreciative of that night.
And if you can do it once, my friend, you can do it again.
Yeah.
So don't be too down if she doesn't get back to you. I mean, she might be on her own journey, She might be getting vibes from a college guy who's messing with her head, and she's not mature enough yet to realize that she's got the beer partner she needs right there with you. But you can't make up somebody's mind for them. I mean, my idea on the approach is always the same. Just message her. Tell her you want to take her out. It probably won't work, but whatever, man. If it doesn't work, you mark it off and you're on to the next one. Let's not waste time thinking about how we can make this person love us. You know what I mean? They either do or they don't. It's not really up to you anyways. So just figure out now if she's the one, and if she's not, keep pushing, brother.
Yeah, I'd say enjoy the night that you had. Be stoked on it, but mostly be stoked on yourself that you're having these experiences.
Yeah.
And just stay on just know that you are capable of more experiences like this, and she's not the one that's gonna make them happen for you. You're the one that's gonna make them happen. So be stoked on that, and just play it cool. Just be like, yeah, it was a fun night. I know I'm the fucking man, and then just see what happens.
What's good, my brothers? I've spent the last 2 summers getting with the same Betty, and each summer the intensity intensifies. I like that. Last night she was crashing in mine and we were getting steaming in my bed. Although I normally am able to make her come, last night was different. Despite foreplay and the hour I spent going down on her, she wasn't into it. She was recently prescribed new meds for anxiety and blamed her inability to climax on the pills. JT, I was wondering if your meds ever affected your sex drive and ability to come, or if my Betty was using the pills as an excuse in an attempt to not hurt my feelings. I asked her for comments and criticism because just like you gods, I'm constantly trying to better myself. Although we're going to keep things going in the sack, that night really downed my stoke tank. Any advice you guys can offer is appreciated. Thanks for the rad pod and keeping my stoke tank full. You guys are the best. Jamie G. Jamie, my dog. I have not had problems coming because of the medications, but I'm not on an SSRI, and I think those are typically the ones that have that side effect. And it's super common. I've had a lot of guy friends who have gotten on anti-anxiety or antidepressives, and the pills worked great, but one of the side effects was it was impossible for them to come. But when you're a guy, it's almost like a good thing. They were like, yeah, I can just like bone all night. But I do think it was frustrating for them too at times. Dude, I don't think she's lying to you. I think she's telling the truth that these pills are making it hard for her to come, which is a bummer for you, dude. I know you really want to get her off. That makes you feel good, that she's feeling good, and it's good for everybody involved. But I think the best thing you could do, although it doesn't sound like much fun, is that like you could just be all right with her not being able to come, because putting pressure on her to come is going to make it practically impossible. So I would just let her deal with it, and you just keep pounding away and doing your best.
Yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself, dude. Things fluctuate. Horniness fluctuates. It definitely could be your medication. So, just keep doing what you're doing, man. And, you don't have to hit home runs every time. If you keep trying to hit home runs every time and you go for that perfection, it's just going to lead to disappointment. So just best thing you can say is I gave my best effort. It sounds like that's what you did. So just be proud of that and don't get down on yourself. Just work that foreplay, dog, and pound away.
Yeah. Tickle each other's backs, dude. There's other stuff that feels good.
Yeah. Look up the Kama Sutra or like do some fun shit like play Barry White or like use whipped cream.
Get a vibrator.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Bring something in there. This one is going to be for Chad. No disrespect, JT. How do you get your hair as dope as you do? My hair is like yours, but it never does what I want it to. It's super annoying when I let it grow long because it just gets thick and does whatever it freaking wants. Chad, how do you do it?
So I use shampoo and condition. I shampoo every other day. That's one major thing. I shampoo every other day, and usually I use herbal essences. But I recently, when I was at my dad's, one of my sisters uses Alba Botanica Hawaii shampoo, and I was like, whoa, this is really helping me out. So I think I might switch to that Alba Botanica Hawaii shampoo. It smells really good. And then I use some kind of pomade, usually like Crew. And then one good trick, if you can't control your flow, I put on a lid, and I put on a lid to sort of like flatten my hair while it's drying. And I do that for like maybe like 5-10 minutes, and that seems to like get it in the proper place for the rest of the day. So throw on a lid, make sure you're putting it on your hair the way that you want it to look, so you're not like making it in some like crazy position, so that it looks proper. And throw that lid on, control it, take the lid off. You're gonna love what you see, brother. That's it.
It's good hair advice. I have a big problem with the long backstory, so I'm sorry about the lengthy explanation. Last fall, I decided to try out for my university's cheerleading squad, which was kind of a big deal because I was the first guy to be on the team in the last 5 years. Hey, respect to you, man. Way to do what you want to do and thwart social norms. I initially did it because I thought it might be fun to try for a semester or two and maybe meet some babes along the way, all the while respecting them, of course. But I ended up really excelling and enjoying it. I made a lot of good friends on the team, developing some solid bonds and platonic relationships. However, one of those relationships doesn't seem right. One of the girls on the team, who's also one of the captains, and I seem to always be flirting ever since I joined this squad. Initially, I was stoked because I wanted to ask her to my fraternity spring formal, and her sorority was partnered with us for Greek week. That was when I found out she had a boyfriend of 5 years, but I still had multiple people tell me that she had told them that she had a big crush on me. Normally, I would never try to pursue someone in a relationship, but one night at a party, she told me how terrible her boyfriend was, how he ignores her, is verbally abusive, and always flirts with other girls right in front of her. I've met this guy before, and I think he is a huge tool bag. I don't know where to go from here, but we still flirt a lot, and I think we both still like each other a lot. She even will come to a party I throw over one her boyfriend does because she wants to see me. Plus, I've had multiple girls on the squad tell us we would be a fire couple. I just want to prove to her that I could treat her way better and make her actually enjoy being in a relationship. What should I do? Thanks for your time. Very respectfully, Derek. P.S. Go Bulldogs and Rush. Frat symbols.
Dude, yeah, first off, props for doing what you want. Join the cheerleading squad. I think that's tight. It sounds like it could be super fun. And I would say she's still with this dude, so I wouldn't be that sort of guy who's sort of like waiting around for her to like break up with him, because I think that could, I think you gotta tell her how you feel and make your position clear if you want things to move forward. I think, because like if you're like, hey, I'm still keeping my options open, but I know you're with this guy, but I want you, so that's what's up. And but that's my, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, avoid the friend zone to where you're just like hanging out with her and you're like, all right, maybe she'll break up with him someday. I'd sort of like lay it out for her, be like, I like you, but I'm not gonna like wait around for you.
Dude, I would
kind of deal.
You got to go for it. You got to go for it. This other guy's a douche.
Yeah.
You're a much better guy. You're breaking social norms. You're trying to do stuff that other people are afraid of. You and her have a connection. You guys cheer together. You feel the same way about all the important things about life, religion, politics, family values. You're on the same wavelength. This other guy's a relic of her past. She's just not ready to cut ties with it, probably because she's nervous that if she jumps ship, she doesn't know where she's going to land. So you got to pull your boat up right there and say, I'll catch you, baby. I think I would have another party. It's great you're having parties. It's very appealing. You guys get together at the party, you start drinking, you lock off with her. You kind of get her into your conversation zone. You don't let anybody come by. If any of your friends come by, you go, hold on, I'm doing something, I'm talking to somebody. And you talk and you talk and you talk and you get close and you get close and you get close. And when the moment comes, you go for the kiss. And she says, what the hell are you doing? You go, you know what I'm doing. I like you. And I think you like me too. And I think this other guy's a toad. So why don't you just let yourself be happy and be with me instead? And say, I know it's a little wrong, but in the name of something more right, it's going to take some sin. But let's do this.
It's wrong, but you feel good.
But you feel this. I know you feel it too, because I'm feeling it. I know you're feeling it. And you know this guy's not the right guy for you. I'm in your base while you've been up in the air for 2 years now. And I know how to make you happy.
Now let me suck that face.
So come here and give me a kiss. All right, guys. It's time for our movie quote of the week.
Should I go first?
Yeah.
My movie quote of the week is from Troy with B. Pitt. In the beginning of the movie, this some messenger boy, he's like, he's the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him. And Brad Pitt, who's playing Achilles, looks down at him. He goes, that's why no one will remember your name. And you know what that means to me? Don't let fear get in the way. Be Brad Pitt and Troy and go fight the big ass dude. Just don't let fear get in the way of living the life you want to live, stokers. Grab your sword, call yourself Achilles, and go dominate. That's what's up.
Love it. My movie quote is from the movie Gangs in New York. It's one of my favorite movies. It's when Bill the Butcher is doing he's covered in the American flag, and he's talking to young Amsterdam about the finest man he ever killed, Prince Valen. What Bill the Butcher doesn't know is that's actually Amsterdam's dad. So the dramatic irony is fucking potent. And he tells Amsterdam a story about his dad that Amsterdam doesn't even know. He goes, yeah, me and Prince Valen, we got into a fight. He gave me this, pointing at his one eye. And he goes, He beat me good. My ribs were bloody and pulpy, my face mashed in. And when it came the time for him to kill me, I couldn't look at him. So he spared me because he wanted me to live in shame. This was a great man. So basically, Amsterdam's dad beat Bill the Butcher so bad that it was time for him to die. But Bill the Butcher was so afraid of dying, he couldn't look at Prince Valen. So instead of killing him, Prince Valen let him live because he wasn't strong enough to die at his hand. Like Prince Valen was like, you're not enough of a man for me to kill you. Get out of here, rat. Go live as a rat. And then the guy who was spared says, this was a great man. And then he goes, and I ended up sending him my eye. I would have cut out both if I could afford to be blind. And he goes, but I built myself up strong, and I buried him in a pool of his own blood. And he says it was faith, that they were the same, but it was faith the only thing that separated them. So I just love that these two men live by such an intense code that they won't even kill people they don't respect. They have to respect you to kill you. I don't know what that means, but I think it's deep.
I don't get it at all.
I think it's deep.
Yeah. All right, Stokers, that'll be it for episode 32. Is that 32?
Yeah.
Episode 32 of the Going Deep with Chad JT podcast. Thank you guys so much for writing in, for being Stokers, for being awesome. Keep going deep, guys. And check out our Patreon, patreon.com/ChadGoesDeep. Oh, I forgot to do a review. Review of the week goes to Stoked6969. And it's Smoke 'em like Toretto. Good review.
Good review.
And yeah, guys, keep writing in, chadgoesdeeppodcast@gmail.com. Check out the Reddit, reddit.com/r/ChadGoesDeep. I think it's Chad Goes Deep, or Going Deep with Chad JT, to friggin' bond with some fellow Stokers. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Keep writing in. Later.
Thanks, dudes.
If you need advice,